Have you ever caught yourself replaying a conversation with a guy, wondering what he really meant by something he said? You're not the only one. Men often show their feelings in subtle ways, using words that seem casual but carry hidden meaning. If you don't know how to understand these signals, you might miss valuable chances, or worse, misread everything. Today, we're digging deep into 6 common phrases men use when they secretly want you. This isn't fluff or guesswork. This is real, honest, psychology-based insight that will completely change how you understand how men speak. Here's the truth. Most men are taught to protect their emotions and not show too much. So when they start to want you, it doesn't always show through bold actions or big statements. It comes out in small, quiet ways, usually through words that seem normal unless you know what to listen for. A lot of dating advice tells you to watch what he does or to just follow your gut. And while that can help, his words really matter too. Words reveal purpose, especially when he's not trying to impress or hide behind charm. In the next half hour, you'll learn how to truly read between the lines, whether he's texting, talking to you in person, or sharing something late at night. So get your notes ready, because once you know what these 6 phrases actually mean, you'll never have to second guess what he says again. By the end of this video, you'll be able to hear what most women overlook. When a man says, "I've never told anyone this before," he's not just telling a story, he's letting you in. That door he's opening, it's not one he opens often. This phrase shows vulnerability, trust, and emotional openness. It means you're no longer just someone he finds interesting. You're someone he feels safe around. And that's a major shift. Many men are raised to stay strong, act like nothing bothers them, and avoid appearing weak. So when a guy chooses to open up and show a real part of himself, especially something emotional or private, it's a big moment. He's giving you a peek into who he is underneath everything, and it usually happens during quiet, meaningful moments, like a heartfelt talk during a late-night drive, a peaceful dinner conversation, or a back-and-forth text chat in the middle of the night. It might be a memory from childhood, a long-held dream, a fear he's never spoken about, or something painful he's been through. The subject can vary, but the point is that he chose to tell you. What he's really saying beneath the surface is, "I trust you. I feel okay showing you the side of me I normally keep hidden." That's not small talk. That's emotional risk. And in relationships, taking emotional risks is often the first step toward real emotional connection. Here's where some women get it wrong. They hear the story, they listen carefully, and they might even feel touched, but they miss what the phrase itself represents. It's not just about what he said, it's about who he said it to. That moment is his way of showing that he wants to go deeper with you. It's his quiet way of saying, "Let's build a connection that most people never get to have with me." Recognize the trust he's showing you. Say something like, "Thank you for telling me that," or "That must be hard to share." When you show that you understand how much trust it takes to open up, he'll feel more than just heard, he'll feel seen. And when a man feels seen by a woman, he starts to form a strong emotional bond with her. That phrase also sets you apart. When he says, "I've never told anyone this before," he's also saying, "You're different." It lifts your connection from surface-level interest to something with real depth. That's when things move from casual to meaningful. But be careful. Don't mistake this for emotional manipulation. Some men, especially those with selfish or manipulative traits, know that being vulnerable makes women feel closer, so they fake it to gain trust. Watch for signs. Is he consistent in how he treats you? Does his openness come with true emotional depth? Or does it feel like a performance that doesn't match his behavior? Real emotional sharing also comes with reliability. If he's hot and cold, disappears after deep talks, or uses emotional stories to guilt trip or control you, that's a red flag, not romance. But when he's steady, honest, and truly present, this kind of sharing is one of the strongest signs that he's emotionally connecting with you. Handled with care and maturity, these moments create lasting emotional memories. He'll connect that moment of honesty with how you made him feel, and that emotional memory can stay with him for a long time. So next time a guy says, "I've never told anyone this before," Pay attention. Listen to his story, but more importantly, listen to what's behind it. That phrase might be the doorway to something much deeper than just chemistry. It might be the beginning of true emotional closeness. Now let's talk about another phrase. You make me want to be better. It sounds like a sweet compliment, but there's much more going on underneath. When a man says this, he's showing that your presence is having a real effect on him, on how he sees himself and what he wants to become. This phrase isn't about romance alone, it's about growth. Men naturally want to improve themselves in areas like their career, mindset, or character. The drive to become more, to level up, is deeply fulfilling to them. So if being around you makes him feel that inner push to improve, it means he sees you as someone who brings out the best in him. It's not just that he likes you, it's that you awaken something in him that motivates true, lasting change. This could show up in different ways. Maybe he starts wanting to be more open, to get in better shape, to handle his emotions better, or to stop old bad habits. Whatever the area, the common factor is you. That's meaningful, because real change only sticks when it comes from the inside. And if he's feeling inspired to grow because of how you live, how you carry yourself, or what you expect from people, it shows deep admiration and respect. Most guys won't say something like this unless they've already started feeling emotionally connected. Why? Because it's a moment of honesty. He's admitting he's not perfect, but he wants to rise to meet what he thinks you deserve. Here's something important to understand. If he didn't care about you deeply, he wouldn't be thinking about bettering himself for you. A casual fling doesn't inspire that kind of self-awareness, but someone he could truly see a future with does. Sometimes this phrase is a sign that he's been thinking a lot about himself, maybe re-evaluating how he behaves or what he values. Maybe your confidence reminded him of what kind of woman he wants in his life. Maybe your standards made him reflect on what kind of man he wants to be. Either way, it's not about you pushing him, it's about who you are. Men don't want to be told to change, but they do grow when they're around a woman who lives with integrity and inspires by example. That's the real power in this phrase. He's saying, I want to be better because of you. And if it's real, that's a very strong sign that he sees long-term possibilities. Now, let's look at another phrase that often signals emotional depth. What are we? Or where is this going? This isn't just curiosity, it's a sign of serious emotional thought. When a guy brings up where the relationship stands, it's because he's been thinking about it. He's no longer just enjoying the time with you, he's imagining something more. That's a major change in how he's viewing things. Men don't usually ask these questions just for fun. These are vulnerable moments. He's putting himself in a spot where he could get hurt, feel embarrassed, or be disappointed. So when he asks, it means your opinion matters to him, and that he's emotionally invested enough to want real clarity. There's also a maturity behind this question. A man who brings this up isn't looking to play games. He doesn't want to keep guessing or be stuck in an unclear situation. He wants to understand where he stands with you. And that shows he's taking the connection seriously. Unfortunately, some women might get nervous when a man gets real like this. Society often teaches us to be cautious of men who open up too soon, but emotional honesty isn't a red flag. It's one of the clearest signs that he values the relationship. He's not testing you. He's trying to figure out the rules of the connection you're building together. This kind of question usually means he's already starting to make decisions based on your presence in his life. Maybe he's spending less time on dating apps. Maybe he's thinking twice before saying yes to certain plans. Maybe he's even starting to imagine a committed relationship. But he needs to know if you feel the same. So how should you answer? Be honest. If you're unsure, say that, but be kind. If you're feeling the same way, this is a great chance to build trust. You don't need all the answers right away, but meeting his honesty with your own creates closeness and emotional safety. Remember, this question might come from a place of emotional tension. Maybe you've been growing closer, sharing more, seeing each other more, maybe even getting physically close, and now he needs to know. Is this real? Or is it temporary? When he asks, he's not just wondering about titles. He's asking if he can trust you with his feelings and his heart. So don't brush it off. In a world full of shallow conversations and surface-level dating, a man who wants clarity and direction is someone who's starting to take you seriously. That kind of vulnerability is rare, and it deserves your attention. When a man says, "I miss you," it might sound like a simple phrase, maybe even something you expect at some point. But don't miss the deeper emotional message hidden in those 3 words. Because when he says it, and truly means it, especially when it's not expected, it says much more than "I wish you were here." It means you're living in his thoughts, and your absence is felt in his world. That's not just affection, it's emotional connection. Many men struggle with expressing how they feel. A lot of them have learned to hide emotions or only show them when tied to action. So when a guy says he misses you, that's emotional honesty. He's letting you know you matter, and something feels incomplete without you there. Your energy, your voice, the way you make him feel. He notices the emptiness when you're not there. And that emptiness isn't just about space, it's emotional. He misses the sense of connection, the comfort of having you close, and the version of himself that comes alive when you're around. These words often come out during quiet times, maybe at the end of a long day, during a late night message, or even randomly when he's driving or thinking of you. It might sound casual, but it's really a sign that you're beginning to leave an emotional imprint on him. You're not just a person he chats with, you're someone whose absence changes how he feels. Now, not all "I miss you" statements are the same. There's a big difference between a quick, surface-level "miss you" said out of habit and one that's truly felt. A sincere "I miss you" often comes with more detail. Maybe he tells you something reminded him of you, or he says he wishes you were with him right then. Sometimes he even follows it up by making plans to see you. These are the signs that his words aren't just polite, they're real. Here's the deeper part. When a man says he misses you, he's also showing his emotional openness. He's saying he feels something, and those emotions are strong enough to notice your absence. That's a step in emotional connection. It means you've moved from being someone he likes to someone who matters. It also reveals that he sees you as a source of peace or joy. Men don't usually miss drama or stress, they miss warmth, connection, and comfort. So if he misses you, it means being around you gives him a feeling he wants to experience again. That's how longing begins. And longing often leads to deeper emotions, like love. How you react to that matters. You don't need to overanalyze it. A simple "I miss you too" or a playful "what exactly do you miss about me" can keep the connection warm and meaningful. But if you're unsure about where he's coming from, this is a good time to pay attention to what he does next. A man who truly misses you will often follow those words with real effort. Calls, visits, time spent planning to be together. Words open the door, but action is what walks through it. On the other hand, if a guy only says, "I miss you," when he wants something, like after pulling away or just before trying to hook up, it's worth questioning whether his words are connected to real emotion or just convenience. Real missing comes with emotional depth, not just late night texts. So next time you hear those words, pause for a moment and listen closely. A true "I miss you" is often a man's quiet way of saying you matter more than he expected, and not having you around doesn't feel quite right. That's a glimpse into a heart that's slowly but strongly opening up to you. When a man says, "You're not like other women," he's not just trying to flatter you, he's sharing something real. That phrase might seem like a compliment at first, but deep down, it's a sign of something emotional. It shows he's been noticing you, not just on the surface, but at a deeper level. He's mentally and maybe emotionally putting you in a different place from others he's known. This phrase usually comes from comparison, not that he's making a list of differences, but he's feeling a contrast between your energy and what he's experienced before. Maybe it's your confidence, how emotionally aware you are, your calm vibe, your ambition, or how you handle situations. Whatever it is, it's making a big impression on him, one that feels rare and valuable. Here's something important. When he says you're different, he's also saying something about how he feels around you. You might inspire him, challenge him, or help him see parts of himself in new ways. Maybe you make him feel more understood or encourage him to be his true self more than anyone else ever has. When he says those words, he's expressing a shift he might not even fully realize yet. There's also a quiet admiration behind that phrase. He's been noticing how you carry yourself. Maybe you set boundaries and stick to them. Maybe you bring warmth without expecting something back. Maybe you're just not playing the games he's used to. Your energy challenges what he thought he understood. And that surprise is something emotionally available men are drawn to. For a man who is serious and emotionally open, this phrase often marks the beginning of deeper emotional bonding. It shows that he's not just noticing how you look or act, he's noticing how you make him feel. And when a man feels something different with you, something better, it makes you stand out. That sense of you being rare increases your value in his heart and mind. But not every "you're different" line is genuine. Some men use it as emotional bait because they think it's what you want to hear. So how do you know if it's real? Look at his actions. Is he consistent? Does he communicate clearly? Does he respect your boundaries and show real interest in your life? If the phrase comes with real curiosity, steady attention, and emotional presence, it's likely honest. He's not just saying it, he's showing that you've made an impact. Men don't usually talk about the future unless they mean it, or at least unless they're seriously thinking about where things could go. So when he says, "I can imagine a future with you," he's showing that he's been thinking beyond the present moment. He's not just enjoying your time together today, he's wondering if this connection could last. This kind of phrase doesn't always come in a dramatic or formal way. It might slip out after a meaningful weekend, a heartfelt conversation, or during a peaceful moment where he feels safe and connected. And when it's genuine, it's not just sweet talk. It's real. He's letting you into his thoughts. He's mentally moving from just seeing you as someone he's dating to someone he's considering in his longer-term life. That kind of statement is about bringing you into his bigger picture. He's not just thinking about himself anymore. He's thinking about us. He might be imagining how you'd fit into his routine, his goals, or his lifestyle. That's not a small thing. It shows a level of emotional growth and intention. In a world where many people keep things vague, someone saying they picture a future with you is showing rare honesty. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean he's ready for a wedding ring tomorrow, but it does mean he's not treating this as just something casual or short-lived. And here's the beautiful part. It's not just about what he wants, it's about how he feels around you. Something about you makes that vision of the future feel real and possible. Maybe it's your calmness, maybe your values align with his, or maybe your ambitions match. Whatever it is, it makes him see the future differently, with hope and comfort. It's also a sign of trust. He's not only saying he wants you around, he's saying he believes you're someone he could build with. And for a man who's been through pain or loss, that's a big step. So if he says it, trust that it means something to him, even if he hasn't fully figured out what comes next. How should you respond? Start by recognizing that what he said takes vulnerability. He's opening up, even if it's in a quiet or awkward way. If you feel the same, reflect it back. You could say something like, "That really means a lot. I've been thinking about where this could go too." That deepens the emotional bond and reassures him. But if you're not sure yet, you don't have to fake it. You can still respond with care and honesty by saying, "I really appreciate how open you're being. I'm still figuring things out, but I really like where this is going." That keeps the connection strong without making a promise you're not ready for. At the end of the day, I see a future with you is more than just words. It marks a turning point. It shows that he's not only drawn to you, but he's beginning to picture building something meaningful. In that moment, you're not just someone he likes, you're someone he sees potential with. And that's where something real can begin. So maybe you've heard one or all of these meaningful phrases from a man. I've never told anyone this before. You make me want to be better. What are we? I miss you. You're different from other women. I see a future with you. Each one alone can feel like a shift. Together, they paint a picture of emotional depth, growing trust, and real connection. Now, the big question is, what do you do when you hear them? How do you respond without overthinking, without playing games, or without giving too much too soon? First, take a moment, breathe, understand that when a man says these things, especially without being asked, he's stepping out of his emotional safety zone. Most men aren't used to openly sharing their feelings, so when they do, it's a big step. It's not just about the words themselves, it's about when, how, and why he's saying them. Your role in these moments is not to immediately define the relationship or solve anything. It's to listen, to be present, and to feel what's behind the words. Ask yourself, does it sound like he's being open and real? Is he sharing because he trusts you? Or is he testing the waters to see if you feel the same? If it feels honest, respond with warmth. You don't need to match the depth word for word, but showing emotional presence helps the connection grow. For example, if he says, I can see a future with you, and you're not ready to say that back, you could say, that means a lot. I'm excited to see where this is going too. You're not overcommitting, but you're showing you're there. That's emotional alignment. When someone opens up, they're letting you see something real, whether it's desire, fear, hope, or vulnerability. Responding with understanding instead of fear builds connection, and connection is what creates something lasting. But what if it feels too fast? What if he says, I miss you after one date, or you're different before you've even gotten to know each other? It's okay to be cautious, but don't assume it's fake. Some people feel a lot quickly. The better question is, does what he does match what he says? Is he consistent? Does he give you space and honor your pace? If something feels rushed or strange, it's okay to say, I really appreciate what you said. I just want to take time to get to know each other better. That keeps things respectful and clear. And don't lose yourself in the feelings of the moment. These phrases can feel powerful, especially when they match what you hope to hear. But real emotional maturity means not just listening to words, it means watching for patterns. If a man says he sees a future with you but leaves you feeling uncertain, that's something to pay attention to. If he says you're different but treats you like everyone else, that's a sign to step back. But when a man says these things and follows them with care, effort, and presence, lean in. That's when emotional truth and consistency meet. That's where trust grows. That's when something beautiful begins. These 6 phrases aren't just romantic, they're revealing. They give you insight into how a man feels, what he thinks, and where his heart might be heading. But knowing how to hold those words with self-respect, clarity, and emotional strength is what creates deep, lasting chemistry. When a man opens his heart, you don't have to rush to answer. Just listen, reflect, respond with confidence. That's how real connection starts.